So yeah, I know, I know you've always been involved in this innovation, a little forward thinking. So
Right.
kind of, now that you've kind of taken the initially, you talked about the configuration, now running workloads, what are the challenges you're solving now or addressing for people, and where do you, what do they need to be aware of?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, if you look at cloud security, I think generally speaking, the best thing to look at, the best way to look at it is try to understand that the pillars that you're trying to solve to didn't really change. You're still trying to do the same things, we've done for the last 30 years. You're trying to do network security, you're trying to do application security, you're trying to do posture management, all this stuff we've always done. I think what cloud does, it's almost like COVID cloud in the sense that it accelerates everything and condenses it, right? Like what happened in the last 2 years, we took like stuff that theoretically projects would take 20 years, and we just had to do them in like, whatever, 3 months. And suddenly everything got condensed. That's what cloud sort of does. So it not only moves very fast and people are adopting it really fast, the biggest thing is it allows the developers to move really fast. And everything is just faster. So I call it the times 100 problem. And I'll talk about this for a second, because I think that's the biggest drive for innovation in the cloud. The times 100 problem means that it's the same, just 100 times. 100 times bigger, 100 times faster, 100 times scale, 100 times amounts of administrators. We used to live in this data center, we had like 4 admins. Suddenly every developer is an admin, is a privileged user. We had 4 privileged users, we have 10,000 privileged users, and they change all the time, and they have flip-flops and goatees, and they don't care about security or anything like that, and they just move. So it's 100 times problem. So I think the biggest challenge for cloud security, to touch on that innovation that you're saying, and I really think that that's where the innovation is going to come from, probably in the entire cybersecurity space, but specifically in cloud, is how do you deal with times 100? Times 100 speed, times 100 velocity, times 100 scale, times 100 users, times 100 everything. And the key, I think, is going to be automation. So I think the saying that people should have in mind to the question, Kirk, is that, and that's a saying I use for a while, it ain't done till it's automated. So that's the definition of done. It ain't done till it's automated. So your customers or prospect, anyone that's looking at this problem should put in front of them, it says, okay, what am I working on right now? What does it look like when it's done? It's automated. Because if it's not automated, there's no way to deal with times 100. There's just no way. By the way, it's times 100 now, it's times 1,000 tomorrow.
Okay.
And then times 10,000. So I think the short answer to where is innovation going to come from is automating stuff. Automating solving the problem, not necessarily from the actual solution, but how do you automate it for scale?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's just, then when you go from there, the 100 times, I mean, that says it all, really. It ain't done till it's automated. I agree with that. Because there's nothing like permanent, like temporary, right? Well, we're just going to get done and move back, and then you'll have a mess on a scale that you can't deal with.